I wanted to bring something up, and this kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
In regards to the whole female, male, that kind of thing as well. Have you, and obviously it's there's no word of a lie in the creative industry or within any industry, it does make it a lot harder for females to progress and that kind of stuff, get opportunities and those kind of things. Have you ever had an instance where you've, I guess, your sexuality or you being a female has been used as a way to try and, we'll offer you this if you like do this, or had like that kind of like, who was it that we when we spoke to Misty?
Yeah,
and she was
lovely.
She was talking about the like, and I asked her the same like. Obviously, her sexuality is that used like in bookings, and I'm saying more for you as like, have you kind of been used as like a pawn to, we'll give you this job, but like you need to come out to dinner with us, or you need to do this, or is have you ever had that kind of experience, or?
Once, but I work for the most amazing people, honestly.
Yeah.
I do mainly tend to work for artists that are female because they're colourful and they're gorgeous and very theatrical on stage. But the male artists that I have worked for have always treated me with a lot of respect, especially the all day boys.
Yeah.
They really restored my faith in men.
In males.
Yeah, they treat me like one of the boys. Am I allowed to say that? One of the boys? I don't know.
One of the
Did you just contradict yourself? No, I know what you mean.
You definitely know when you're hanging out with people if they're changing the way they're behaving or acting because you're there.
Yeah.
But with those boys, I've only ever been treated with respect, and I'm so grateful for that, especially because I was very, very young when I started working for them. So that kind of, it brought me into the industry with a very good view on it. And also I then knew the standard kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I knew anything less is not okay. There was one instance that I was booked to work for this guy artist thing, and singer, DJ, drums, whatever. And yeah, so I got there and we were shooting and stuff, and then he was being a little bit like flirty, which is like okay, like it's banter is okay. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
It's very important for me when I'm shooting for someone, with someone, that they're comfortable with me and they're comfortable to joke around and stuff like that. That's okay.
You have to have a vibe and connect.
Yeah, but it got to the point where, he was kind of coming on to me a bit, and I was kind of like, dude, I'm here to work, like, settle down. And he was kind of like, well, that's not why I booked you. And I was just like, but I was young, so instead of snapping back and kind of putting him in his place, I was just like, okay. And never worked for him again.
Check that name out.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the other thing, yeah. There was another time to it, a show that something happened, but it's like not the end of the world. It's just one of those things that, I don't even know how to like talk about it. It's not serious. Like I wasn't like assaulted. It was just one of those things where someone, a manager of a band kind of was just like, off you go, darling, and like kind of tapped my butt a bit. And I remember at the time being like, I know this is not okay, but why am I not saying anything about this?
It's kind of, yeah.
I'll tell you who that was off camera. You won't be surprised.
I think I can guess, but yeah, we'll leave it for...
But like I'm not damaged from it or anything.
No.
But I definitely, if I'm having a conversation with... now it's hard for me to say female photographer, but a photographer that is a female, I do always try to have these conversations with people. Like if you don't feel okay in a situation, you do not have to stay. Yeah. They have to pay you because you've worked.
Yeah.
So do not worry about that. And if you lose a booking, that's fine. You will get other bookings. But I try to, make sure that people do feel comfortable with talking to me about that, because I wouldn't want anyone to feel the way I did, like what do I say, or like what do I do? Like, can I say anything, kind of thing?
And I think I feel like now I don't think you are a very confident woman I would say.
Thank you.
No, but and as you said, like even in school, you're very outspoken. But I feel like you have that industry confidence now as well. That like if someone did something like that now, you wouldn't let it fly one bit.
Oh yeah,
Like
it's one of those things where it's an industry where it's just like there are very, very professional people and that are absolutely amazing to work with, and that you're just like, okay, well, they don't let any of your background stuff or this or that just affect it. It's just like, okay, cool, you're really good at what you do, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And that's all that should matter in this industry, which is
But you should never keep a booking if someone walks. I've
God, no.
I've
But
sued.
there is that pressure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and obviously if you're doing it and you're like, I'm going to try and like make it, or I need to make it like it work, and obviously money is always something that's like, if you're working and this is all you do, and people go, oh, you're just doing it. Yes, I have bills to pay, like, but at the same time, like, I've sued people that like someone that I worked for a long time, and I sued them because they weren't paying me, and it's like I will ruin those relationships, and I've done it a couple of times with venues. I'll never work for them ever again, and that can ruin my reputation. But I'm sorry, there's a line you need to kind of like, and we have mentioned off camera one of those venues as well.
Yeah.
So.
And two rabbit hole questions.
Go, hit me. Not literally.
Okay.
Hit me with the questions. I hate myself. Oh my God.
Someone said that to me, and I.
Sorry, that's so inappropriate considering the conversation we were just having. Cut that.
Okay, yep, that's
Continue.
Go on, sorry, rabbit
All right.
holes.
Have you ever been offered with, we'll pay you an exposure? Okay, yeah, all right. It's pretty much a given at any sort of photographer that's mildly successful, or in your case,
What do you mean mildly successful? Anyone's usually offered.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's you've gotten the point where it's just like, look, we can't pay you, but we can tag you in every post or give you a $50 bar card that only cost us $5 or something like that. And it's very much one of those things where it's just like, I'm sure you've gotten it many, many, many times.
Absolutely. As when you're starting as a music photographer, like kind of what I was saying before, you need to be willing to work 10 times harder than literally anybody else. And you will work for free for a very long time. Blogs don't have money. Magazines don't have money. Newspapers. Do we even have newspapers anymore? There's no money, and like people are not getting paid to work in those things, especially blogs.
Express.
See ya, bye. That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
That's like a 2-page pullout now. So there's not a lot of money in the kind of like blog scene kind of thing, but you are getting the opportunity to shoot. You are getting the opportunity to build a portfolio, to build relationships. I did work for exposure for not a very long time. Probably, I want to say, at least a year and a half, only free work with music.
Yeah.
And then from there, it was like a little bit of free stuff, but it was getting more into paid stuff. Now as a rule, I don't work for free unless it's someone that I 100% fully believe in and I want to support them and I want to be able to give them something, whether it be that it's not in their budget or they're just starting out. I think it's incredibly important to put faith in people that you truly believe in.
Yeah.
I would not be where I am right now if people hadn't put faith in me.
Yeah. But at the same time, you're not going to like, if X venue calls you up and like, hey, we can't pay you.
Yeah. But what's really nice is like when I do occasionally do free work and then these people do so well and they come back and they're like, hey, I can pay you now. And I'm like, sick.
That's
cool.
it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You got to believe in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that belief in that person.
Yeah.
It'll come full circle.
Yeah. Nowadays, people don't contact me with the offer of exposure. And if they do, it's usually a misunderstanding either on their part or my part. I've either forgotten to say I'm willing to work in budget or I'm like, this is my rate, whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen too much. But I know that it does happen to a lot of other people that are just starting.
And second rabbit hole question as well. What point... See, this is something that I've struggled with for quite some time. Like as a photographer, it's getting to the point where you can say, I'm a professional photographer. Or,
I still don't feel comfortable calling myself a professional photographer.
Exactly. And like one of my coworkers, she does weddings and stuff like that. And she was like, well, yeah, I consider myself now, but like ages ago, I didn't even consider it. And it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like you feel like, oh no, don't call me a professional. Like I can take photos, but it's one of those.
A lot of people struggle with that. Yeah. people are like, yeah, you're a professional photographer. And I'm like, whoa.
Well, step back.
Would not say that.
Don't use that word.
What point did you think, wait, I'm making it, or like I've made it? Have you ever had that point, or you're just always striving to be the next thing, or striving to better yourself?
Look, here's the thing. I want to be Taylor Swift's photographer one day, so I don't think I'm ever going to like be able to say, yeah, I made it, unless I'm on tour with her.
It's a good goal. Yep, fair enough.
But yeah, no, there's definitely no point where it's been like, yeah, got it. But there's definitely been points where I've been like, my hard work has paid off finally.
Yeah.
But I believe that success, I guess, is something that is always leveled up.
Well, you have
achieve
to
something, and you're like, sick, I want to do better than that.
Yeah, you have to get to that. You have to get to that level. I watched a podcast the other day with Logic, H3 podcast, and they did one with Logic, and he was like, "You've always got that like level." Like, it was like the first one. All right, I want to record an album.
Yeah,
I want to get a record deal, and it's like, and then
all right,
yeah, and then it's like, I want to get this, and then I want to do a world tour. I want to get this, and it's like, you just have to keep.
Yeah,
there's no point where you're like, okay, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like.
So I don't set my goals in a traditional sense. I obviously have Tay-Tay up here. But
Tay-Tay's your like.
Yeah. The way I define my goals with my life is as long as 12 months from right now, I'm doing something a little bit better than what I'm doing right now. That to me is success, because that means that I'm growing. It means that I'm still working hard and that I'm developing as an artist.
Yeah.
And a creative. Yeah. So that's kind of, and to be honest, when you have a goal as high as wanting to be like working for Taylor Swift, anything you achieve is amazing. Like, what's the quote? It's like, shoot for the stars, and if you shoot for the moon, and if you fall, you land in the stars. So
yeah. And I know there's different versions of that.
Yeah.
If you try, the worst thing only two things are going to happen. You either achieve your goal or die trying.
Yeah.
And that's exactly like.
Oh, that's depressing.
No, but in a sense, like, you're either going to achieve that goal, or you'll always be trying to, like, I guess, get there. That is now that I look at that, is a lot more depressing than the stars and the moon one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Though.
But I like having that kind of system for me, because sometimes I achieve things and I'm like, whoa, didn't think that was going to happen. And that's fine. That's totally cool for me.
Now, we need to speak about Taylor Swift.
Oh my gosh, it's been so long. You honestly, the last podcast I did, I think I spoke about her for the whole time, and I was thinking about it before. I was like, I'm doing so good. I haven't spoken about her yet today.
So, Taylor Swift. Now, a little birdie, which is basically just
my
your
social media.
Yeah. Your social media and your blog, the top you're wearing now. You have a little. Oh, and obviously you're telling us that you want to work for her. You like Taylor Swift a little bit.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And you met her as well.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So I have been a Swiftie since I was 11.
I could see that.
Yeah. Over a decade. So from the very, very first self-titled album. I grew up in the country.
Tell me your mum has you like...
No, it wasn't my mum actually, but I grew up with Australian country music. So I was used to that kind of sound.
Yeah.
But then also kind of grew up with like Chili Peppers and Celine Dion and that kind of stuff. So I was kind of accustomed to that. And then the girl that lived on the farm next to me, she burnt me a CD. Whoa, throwback.
Yes.
And this CD was Taylor Swift's first self-titled album, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And I had gotten a CD player when I was 10. Still have it. Little cubey thing. And it was one of my first CDs, and I just play that album on repeat. And I think for me, because I knew the sound, the Taylor Swift sound is what I'd grown up with, but this was a young girl singing about things that were more relatable to me rather than like John Williamson singing about whatever, Dusty Rhodes or whatever. Yeah.
he's like,
yeah.
He's getting nerdy about the country music right now.
John Williamson. Yep, that's totally my. That's totally
so straight off the bat, Taylor was relatable, and it was a sound that I loved, and she was singing about things that I was dreaming about, basically.
Before we get into her, you meeting her, I want to throw one of the myths at you about her.
Yeah.
And see your response. There is not a rumor, but I guess a myth out there.
Conspiracy theory?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the word I was looking for. Her first album, that the way that she blew up is that her family or basically people had purchased every single album so that she shot up in the charts quite quickly. Because obviously that space of when you release an album, you need to hit the top 10 pretty quickly for it to be noticed.
Yeah.
And there was a rumor out there that I think it was her father or someone within had bought a lot of the albums or majority of them and that they're stored in a warehouse somewhere in the States. And that's the way that she kind of blew up. And there's a lot of people that have come out with, this isn't just, it was a reputable, it wasn't TMZ or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was a reputable place that, had reported on this. But, yeah, that was one of her conspiracy theories.
Well, look, it could be true, but...
Would that change your opinion about Taylor Swift if you found that that was true?
No, because I know her story. That's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you know how Taylor Swift started?
I'll
give you a brief.
I'm gonna put my hand on heart and say I don't know a lot about her.
Okay.
And
right.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So tonight, what I want you to do is go onto YouTube and watch Journey to Fearless. That kind of sums up her story pretty well.
Okay.
But basically, her family moved her to Nashville when she was 13, 14.
Yep.
Because growing up, she had this guitar and she was writing songs and she was just begging her parents to move to Nashville so she could do music.
Yeah.
So she would go into record labels and be like, "Hi, I'm Taylor. Here's my CD. Please sign me." When she's 13. So that didn't work. But she did all
Sounds
her.
like you, but
the emo.
Yes, we'll get back to that. But she just kept persisting, kind of thing. So she finally got a development deal with a label or something. Which is good. It was a good label she was on. And a development deal basically is, we like what you're doing. We want you to write songs, but we're just going to watch you for now. We're not going to sign you. We're just going to keep our eye on you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So she was writing a lot of songs, but they weren't really letting her sing her own songs. And she's a songwriter. She's a country artist. She tells stories through her music. So she did something that not a lot of people do in that position, is she walked away from it. She was like, "No thanks."
Yeah.
Which is not what you do. So she left the development deal and then she just started playing in bars and pubs and all these random things. And she was in the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville one night, which was one of her regular places she was playing. And this guy came up to her after the show and he was like, "I want to sign you to my label." And she was like, "Great, awesome." So they exchanged contact details and he called her later that week and he was like, "Look, so great news is I want you on my label. Bad news, I don't have a label yet." And she was like, "Oh, right, okay." But she believed in him and he believed in her. So she waited for him. He started his label, which is Big Machine Records, which she's only just left this year, which that's fine. She's progressing, so that's all G. So Scott Machado signed her when she was super, super young. And then she started doing a lot of support acts for a lot of different country artists. And the thing about Taylor is from the start and even now, her fans have gotten her where she is. Obviously her talent and her music also, but she's always put her fans first. Even when she was on MySpace, she would be talking to people and engaging with people, and she went through a stage of doing vlogs when she was on her Fearless and Speak Now tour, and it was always about the fans, always about keeping the fans in the loop, because she knew that without them, that's her support kind of thing. These are the people that are believing in her. Yeah. So and then from there, she just...
So it's not too far-fetched to say that
So she grew up on a Christmas tree farm, and her dad's a stockbroker.
Yeah.
So...
I mean,
To me, that kind of conspiracy sounds like it's coming from someone that wants to discount what she's achieved, honestly, to try to... Because why the hell does the world hate Taylor Swift? What has she ever done wrong?
I think she's so quirky. All the things that, the things that she's done and the smartness of the box thing, being in a box.
Yeah.
like to avoid paps.
Yeah.
Like it's just
He
stuff.
wasn't in a box. Jeez.
Okay, it was a huge case.
It's a fun theory. yeah.
You're talking to someone who's up with the facts. Like,
Yeah.
you better not say something bad, like something not true, because
No,
But I mean, you never know if something is like fully true. I have a lot of faith in her because, like, as someone that's been with her since the start, she's done no wrong by her fans.
Yeah.
Ever. So.
and she doesn't she's
Yeah.
not. She's stayed pretty
Yeah.
out of the spotlight in regards no in the sense she's not like pissing in the street like Justin Bieber
yeah.
like she, like in that kind of sense like
But the media have always tried to make it seem like she is.
yeah
Yeah. And they couldn't. So
because she's so there isn't anything
because she's
that-
nice.
Yeah.
And media can't deal with people that are kind and successful.
No.
Doesn't happen.
they try and find every
Yeah.
little last bit.
Yeah.
And
So
that's-
a little fun, interesting fact I'm going to inject right now.
Go.
So do you know the song Blank Space?
Yeah.
Have you seen the music video where she's like crazy, like boy, like heartbreaker kind of? Have you not seen the Blank Space music video?
I might
Seriously?
I need
some
to listen.
time ago for me, but
Anyway, so Blank Space is a really interesting song because what happened during her kind of like her Red era is she was normal. She was dating guys. Like she was dating no more guys than the other girl her age. But the media decided that that's the only thing they could pull her down on. So they started calling like a man-eater, like a heartbreaker, like all these hectic things. Like if you look at the press from back then, it was always like Taylor Swift this, Taylor Swift that, Taylor Swift was a crazy girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. When it's just rumors. Like, that's just crazy. She's just dating. Let her be a 19, 20-year-old, whatever.
Yeah.
So she wrote Blank Space from the perspective of the girl that the media made her out to be. It's not who she is. It's this identity that they'd created for her. So, like, Blank Space is all about being like, darling, I'm a nightmare dressed like a daydream, because that's what they were making her out to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a really good song to listen to when you know that story from it, because it makes a lot more sense, and so does the music video.
Yeah,
That's a fun fact.
It's that it, now. Do I look like someone that watches a lot of Taylor Swift?
Wait, look, you'll be surprised. Like whenever she's touring, and I'm always so surprised by the people that are in the crowd. Most of them girls like me, but there are a lot of guys. There's like quite a large part of the fandom that are dudes. Yeah.
How many of them were dragged there by their girlfriends and
Oh
wives?
man, these boys were having fun.
Yeah, they're probably start at the bar.
Yeah, actually, one of my best Taylor Swift friends, Igor, he's from the States. He's a guy, and he just thrusts Taylor and just goes hard. So yeah, I love that.
I mean, yeah.
I was going to say, like, before, like, when you were talking about her fans and everything like that driving her, I feel like in the creative industry, the two, like, for me, the two most driven things are the people that support me, and B, myself developing. And I feel like that's probably a really big thing for her, like how she's gone from the record label that she started with, and how she's always focused on her fans is the two things of, her fans and then growing herself. And then,
absolutely. Yeah.
And I feel like that, applies.
And we've stood by her through everything. Even when she like deleted everything and just went AWOL, we were all kind of like, "You right, babe? You okay?" And then obviously she came out of Reputation and killed it. But there's a lot happening in the Taylor Swift fandom at the moment.
Ooh. Taylor Swift got you.
I-
Let us.
Whew, it's been a stressful few days. So basically, a couple of days ago, she dropped a photo on Instagram, and it had these like palm trees and this kind of like star overlay on it. And then, she put a picture of her cat the day before, but no one thought much about that because we know that she loves her cats. So there was the palm tree photo.
Yeah.
And then there was a photo of her on this staircase in this gorgeous dress, and it's all pink, and it's got these like love heart overlays. And then today, and it's very stressful being an Australian Swiftie because you wake up and everything's happened in America, and you're like trying to catch up. And then today she posted a photo of her wearing this shirt with these, I think they were like forget-me-not flowers or something, looking through this like lattice, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there's all these crazy theories happening because obviously TS7, which is her 7th album, hasn't been released yet, but we know what she's doing. She's definitely hinting something. Like with the stairs, we think it's a countdown. We think that's what's happening. So obviously it's 7 to 1, basically. And then also her calendar, her merch calendar, has these weird like stamps on certain dates and like a flower on the 2nd of March, which is 7 days from when that first photo was posted.
Ooh.
So I don't know tomorrow if I'm going to wake up. There's probably going to be another photo. But in each of the photos, they're like the palm tree photo has 7 palm trees in it.
This is getting really intricate.
Yeah, and then the stairs photo of, oh my God, I'm going to sound crazy.
See,
the stairs photo, she's sitting on the 6th stair. I don't know, call it what you want, but
the thing is that by the time this goes out, there should be more known, and you could be
Imagine if TS7 is out. Well, it won't be out, but it might be released.
But if you might have called these.
No. This is not me calling it though. This is because my Tumblr nowadays, like I used to use my Tumblr as a way to like document like being a teenager or whatever, boarding school. Now it's like fully fandom. Like that's where I get my news source from. I've met most of my best friends off like Tumblr and like the Swift fandom, whatever. So it's really interesting to see everyone's TS7 theories about everything that's going on. And one of the, oh my God, sorry.
Keep going.
Sorry. I get really into this. So, have you seen the Look What You Made Me Do music video? Okay. Obviously didn't do your research. It's fine.
No, I'm not going to sit there watching every...
It's Taylor. Keep up with the times. So at the very end of the video, there's this shot of her standing in front of this big jet plane thing.
Yeah.
But there's 7 of her.
Ooh.
7 errors, okay? So all of the errors are dressed as she was in that era. So obviously country self-titled Tay was the boots and the florally dresses. Red Tay was the red lips, the fringe, the straight hair. And obviously she's had all these different looks that are very iconic kind of thing. So there's 7 of her standing in a row and they're all kind of like bickering to each other. But there's her 7th one, like when the music video came out, everyone in the fandom was like, what is this 7th one? What is this? And she's wearing this like palm tree print dress.
Connecting to the palm trees.
Connecting to the palm trees, right? And in the music video, she's cutting off the wing of the plane wearing this palm tree dress. So another theory is that this TS7 came before Reputation, but Reputation needed to be made because of all this drama that's happening with Kanye West and all that stuff. And people just like really trying to drag her down for no good reason. Like she needed to put Reputation out to be like, sit back down. Like Oh, and the snake thing. I don't know if you know this, but something happened and...
Talk Kanye West with me and I'm like...
No. I don't want to talk about him. Fully respect his music. I fully understand how important he is in the music industry, but I just don't appreciate him and Taylor. I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
But something happened a couple of years ago and all of Katy Perry's fans started posting snake emojis on Taylor's photos.
I'm aware of that.
As like, it's bullying basically. Because obviously there's that weird beef that's happening with Katy Perry and Taylor or whatever happened.
They apologised for that, didn't they?
Well, apparently she did, but you never really know. But there was that drama. But it's really horrible to see another fandom attack another fandom, basically. Like Katie's
it's like
fans.
war.
Yeah, literally. But Taylor is always so smart. So basically, the main thing about Reputation is if you take what someone's trying to hurt you with and you make it your own, they can't touch you. So that's why all of Reputation is snake themed. So at her show, the mosh pit was called the Snake Pit. The shape of the stage was the same as a snake's tongue.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same shape. All of her, like she had a snake cage that she was like up in the sky. And so, so that's...
And I remember that whole snake thing.
And that's why she and even when she announced TS6, which was Reputation, sorry, I lost my train of thought. It was that snake video that she just randomly put up after she deleted everything. So it all ties into that. She's so strategic.
Now, so you've actually, you have met Taylor.
Yes.
So not all of this like Taylor fandom was obviously bottled up. How did you meet?
Bottled up?
No.
Good way to put it.
No, but bottled up, like it kind of, you got to meet her. Like that's the...
Yeah, so Frontier Touring, which is one of the main touring companies in Australia, killing it, they toured her for the Red tour. So I didn't have any Swift friends at this point. I was like, I'll just go by myself, it's all G. And I entered a competition that they ran, which was like a 25 word or less thing. 1 winner per state. No way I'm going to win that. I f***ing won it for WA. Like, what?
What do you remember what you wrote?
Kind of.
I call on that. You remember every word. Yeah.
I'm not telling you that. So I won, and I won a pre-show meet and greet with her, and it was
Was she everything you thought?
Oh, and more. Like, so genuine. Just such an incredible experience, and so grateful that I got to meet her, and like just it's great. And I told her I was going to be her photographer one day. And she was like, "That's great. Keep trying." Like, I love you.
So how old were you then?
That was 2014. No, end of 2013. December 2013.
So 6 years ago.
Yeah, recently. Yeah, 13.
Yeah.
No,
Recently.
11th. It was the 11th. Yeah, so that was really good. But then an even crazier thing happened a few years later during the 1989 era, which conveniently fell in my gap year. So I was like rich and like throwing money at her left, right and centre. Went to 6 shows. Bit excessive. But let me explain.
Okay.
Okay.
You are what... if you had endless amount of money, you would just literally...
Oh, I was on my gap year. I was living my life. It was great. So luckily when I was at camp, she played at Gillette in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So I saw her there, and I met some of my best Taylor Swift friends that day, which was great. I was so excited to go see them this year. And then I came home, and she does the American leg, then she does like Australia or Europe or Asia or whatever. I came back and she did all her Australian shows. Didn't come to Perth, and I was like, oh, rough. Met this girl in this nightclub. She came up to me and she was like, oh, are you Littlek? And I was like, yeah, that's so nice. She was like, oh, I'm a really big Taylor Swift fan. And jokingly, I was like, oh, doubt it. And she whipped out her phone. And on the back of the phone was just like this montage of Taylor Swift. And I remember just like snapping my head at her, and I was like, we're going to be best friends. And we did. We became really, really good friends. So it turned out she had a ticket to the Melbourne show, and I had a ticket to the Adelaide show. So we bought opposite tickets to each. And so we were like, great, we're going to these shows together. And then Vogue ran this golden ticket competition, and I won it.
Okay, whatever you're writing in these.
Yes. So again, it was 25 words or less. And I'm a Capricorn, so I'm incredibly organized. I always read all the T's. Are you a Capricorn also? Oh my God. High five to that. So I read all the T's and C's. I knew exactly when they would be calling winners. So on the day, I remember I was doing a swim shift, but I was doing squad, so I was out of the water, and it was the only time I've ever had my phone on me while swim teaching. And I remember like looking at the time, like, oh God.
Okay, yeah.
It's past, I haven't won it. Like, I finished my shift. I called Liana, and I was like, man, like I really thought we had this. Like I just had that feeling. And then the next day, didn't have uni or work, so slept in, woke up to a voicemail from a woman called Rachel saying, hi, it's Rachel from Vogue. Just can you give us a call back when you can? And I've never woken up so quickly without coffee in my life. And I called her back, and she was like, oh, I just wanted to let you know that you've won the competition. Like, can you fly to Sydney in 2 days? And I was like, yes. And I was just like crying my eye. And I called Liana, and I was like, we won. So they flew us to Sydney. So we saw the Sydney show from the Vogue box with the editor of Vogue. We all got given like brand new, like whatever the Samsung Edge at the time was, these massive goodie bags. Such an incredible different way to see it.
You are definitely going to, like, if I ever have to, like, do this, like, 25 word or less, you're ghostwriting everything.
But I can't win anything else except Taylor ones. Well, I didn't win anything in the last era, but I have tried my technique with other artists, and it doesn't work. So, I don't know.
You have to tell me off camera what you said.
No.
Cool. I think that snort, I think that says everything about what you wrote.
Oh, dear.
11-year-old you came back out?
Yeah. So Sydney was the first show. So Sydney was my second show.
So what was the gold? So the golden thing entitled you to go to the Sydney show?
Yeah. So every Vogue magazine that she was on the front of had this golden ticket, and it had a code. So obviously to enter the competition, you have to buy the magazine. Good strategic campaign. Yeah. Excellent. But it wasn't the code that was lucky. It was what you wrote that was lucky.
Yeah, but you had to have the code to...
to enter. Yeah, basically. So Liana and I both entered. But yeah, I won. So that was my second 1989 show. And then obviously we got flown back to Perth the next day. Then we went to Adelaide together. Yeah. That was great fun. Like mosh pit, epic. And then we had one ticket. She ended up announcing 2 more Melbourne shows because it was so popular, and it was also the last show of the tour, of the whole world tour. So we went to the first one. So she had a ticket to the middle date.
Yeah.
So we were like, we're in Melbourne the whole time. Let's just get the cheapest tickets to the other 2 dates. Like, why not? We're here. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Gap year.
Yeah. So the first night we had these super cheap tickets, like couldn't even see the stage. And we got upgraded to the front row because of our costumes, which if you are a Swiftie, you'll understand why that happened. And then the next night we had our expensive tickets, so we had pre-bought like a long time ago. So we were in B stage, so we were pretty close and could see and stuff, and it was epic and met so many nice people in that area. And then the final night, we had really bad tickets, didn't get upgraded at Taylor Nation, which was like her setup area with a photo booth and old costumes and stuff. And then we were walking to our seats. We sat down and we were like, oh, damn, these are not good like seats. But we were so happy to be there. We had
how many times have you seen the show before that?
We had these pilot outfits and we'd written Swift Airlines on the back and we had little hats and stuff. But the thing is, if you go to a Taylor Swift concert, everyone's in costume.
Yeah.
Everyone's in Taylor-themed things. And we were like, this is funny because she didn't come to Perth, so we've had to fly to other places to see her.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, okay, well, we'll go get a bottle of water or something like before the support acts. As we walked out of our really terrible seats at the very top of Melbourne, whatever venue it was, we bumped into a girl that I knew of through Tumblr, and I knew of her because of her costume. She was dressed as a tree because Taylor's publicist's name is Tree. And I was like, oh, hey, I know you have Tumblr kind of thing. And we'd kind of like met a bit the previous night, like danced together a little bit. And as we bumped into her, she bumped into Taylor Swift's guitarist and he upgraded us all to front row.
Lewis's face right now. Oh, wow.
It was just crazy.
This is more of that. I see why you believe in that whole universe thing now because, like, far out.
Yeah, yep. So 1989 was, man, that was an era to be alive in. And like Caitlin and I, the girl dressed as Tree, like we're still super good friends. We talk every day. She came and stayed with me when Taylor came here for Reputation because she skips Perth every 2 eras or every in-between era and either does Adelaide or Perth just because of logistics.
Just to clarify for me, era is a
period of like an album.
Okay, so
yeah. So 1989 era was the era that she had that album and then also that world tour kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So Reputation did come to Perth. So I got to go to that one. And I was also really lucky that I was traveling in the UK when she was playing there. So I saw her in Manchester also from like nosebleed seats, which was incredible.
How many times have you seen her?
10.
10 times.
10 times, yeah.
Okay.
Because Self-Titled didn't come to Australia.
Yeah.
Fearless came to Australia, only did Sydney and Melbourne, cried for months on end. It was pretty dramatic. And then Speak Now, which came after Fearless, came to Perth. It was the same night as my Year 12 ball. My mum said to me, do you want to go to the ball or do you want to go to Taylor? And I was like, I want to go to Taylor Swift. Because I think I must have been like 13 or 14 when she came for Fearless. So there was no way my mum was going to like let me go to Sydney or Melbourne to see that.
Yeah.
So mum was like, no. And I was like, please, like crying. And I'm super lucky because my birthday and Christmas are a couple of weeks apart. So I was super lucky that year. I got a very cheap flight to Sydney and a ticket to Sydney, one for Christmas, one for my birthday. The first time I ever saw Taylor was in Sydney for Speak Now. And then after that, I've been an adult since, so I can buy my own tickets.
Questionable adult.
God bless my mum, honestly.
Shout out to your mum.
Yeah, shout out Deb.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, you had a question that you were going to...
Okay.
You're going to ask before.
This is totally separate from what we've talked about so far, like Taylor Swift to this, but as a photographer and as an artist, do you feel like there are certain things that are a bit played out or a bit too cliche and any things that you want to feel like you're doing different? Like for me, it's everyone's doing the whole faded, lifted blacks type look. And
are you talking about like styles?
Yeah,
or?
in terms of photographic styles.
See, I don't think I've found my style yet.
No, but the thing is that like you say that, but people can recognize your photo. Like you don't really as such find it.
Yeah.
You just create you just take photos and then people will go, oh, that's Littlek's style.
Yeah.
Or that's Matsu's style.
I would love to know what my style is, because every time I shoot, I'm sitting in the Lightroom and I'm like, who am I? Like, what am I doing?
Just like going through all your past settings. You're just like, none of these look good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting. I think the only thing that is the same throughout everything is I really like to engage with people, whether it's working in a nightclub or working with an artist. I really like that personal feel, which comes with being comfortable with someone, basically.
Yeah.
But like color-wise, tone-wise, preset-wise, whatever, I really don't think I've found it yet. Working on it, but thank you for thinking I have a style. I do appreciate it.
You definitely have. If it's not a style, you have a way of taking a photo in which
Thank you.
it's noticeable that it is you. And I think that's sometimes in I guess in a technical term, not in a technical term, but like as a photographer, if you take photos a certain way, i.e. position, that in itself can be a style without the way you edit.
Yeah, that's true.
If you ever step back in a pit, and I actually did this recently, step back and watch everyone.
Yeah.
There's
Babe, I have no time for that. I've got 3 songs to get my stuff done and then I'm out.
no, but sometimes for 2-stage setup, you can I've just got my shots and then just sat to the side or waited to kind of get, because everyone's like, I want to be dead center, and you're like, okay, well, everyone else wants to kind of get that photo, but watching everyone in the same, they're trying to get the same photo, but they're all doing it differently.
Yeah.
They've all got a different way, and it's kind of I guess you yourself, you have your own special way of I've seen you sit on a sub box. So don't tell me that you don't have your own style.
My style is being nice to security guards, because
they're not going to say anything to
How do you think I got up on that box?
No, but
security lifted me up and put me up there because I asked very nicely, and they were like, "Sure, why not?"
No, but you're so lovely.
Hi.
You're not going to be someone's going to be like, no. I remember seeing that. For context, can we name? Is it bad to name?
I've been on speakers a few times.
Okay, all right. Well,
I wonder which one was.
It was Groove in the Mood.
Yeah.
And I'm standing I'm literally. It was because it was 2 stages, and she was the main stage, and I was just chilling back. I think I was walking back to go back a house.
Yeah.
And you're sitting on the speaker box taking photos, and my first thought was, how the did you get up there? Because if you ever see walking up to the speaker boxes,
big, and I'm 5'3".
Yeah. I'm just shy of 6 foot, and I was nowhere near taller than them. And I looked at you, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing up there? But that's that in itself.
I shot most of, I think it was Listen Out a few years ago, standing on top of a trash bin, at the back of the crowd. Look, you do what you got to do when you're 5 foot.
But exactly. It's no, but. In saying that, how many people are going to sit on a speaker box? That, I guess if you're saying you're touring with an artist, you pretty much do whatever to get the shot.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's whereas if you're shooting for a publication, or you're not actually shooting, you kind of a bit more
Yeah, I do like climbing stuff. Yeah, I like to be able to think about where I can be that's going to get a different angle or a different perspective, which can be super hard when you're so short. Laneway stage is so high. I literally have to shoot like this. It's such a high stage. But awesome photos regardless, so that's all G. But
I know.
Yeah. I had forgotten about that, yeah. That was literally me, because one thing I always do, and I always say this to people when they ask for advice, I'm like, as soon as you walk into the photo pit, you go up to the security guard and you go, hi, I'm Chelsea, nice to meet you. Or thanks for doing what you're doing kind of thing. You just be nice, because they're not there to kick you out. They're there to look after you.
Yeah.
And it's always been very important to me that they know who I am and I know who they are, and that they've got my back and I will not do anything wrong. And sometimes I will be like, oh, I think Grooven, the security guard just really liked me. So he was like, do you want to go up there? And I was like, yes. But then other times I've just asked, and you either get a yes or a no. So it's better to ask than just do it. So, obviously. Could you imagine?
You're just climbing up there. And especially because of how
short, yeah.
you climbing up there, they'd be like,
Yeah.
Especially with the cameras, 3 cameras.
Yeah, well, a couple of years ago, I had my knee reconstructed and decided that 2 weeks later it would be a really great idea to go shoot laneway. So I did it on crutches. I don't learn, honestly. Did falls with a broken foot, so, killing it.
Yeah, you're not really... The whole broken foot
ordeal, yes.
You didn't fall off a speaker box, did you?
No, so my ACL I ruptured skiing.
Yeah.
Excellent story. Top of the mountain in Japan, killing it. I'm actually not that bad of a skier, so it's just unfortunate. But yeah, shooting laneway was not a great idea. Shooting meet and greets then a week later after laneway at Good Life was not a good idea, but I did it anyway, and I got the job done, and I got paid, so it's all due. But yeah, so at the end of November, I fell over wearing high heels, and I broke my foot, like fully snapped her.
Yeah, the whole gravity and you don't get along well.
No, well, I also did jump over a retaining wall, but that's fine. Anyways, so I broke my foot, so I had surgery. There's a screw in it now, and then I was in a cast for a long time, and then I was in a moon boot. But I was in a cast during falls, and I had a client on the lineup that is also a friend who I really wanted to work for. And I did say to her, look, like given my state at the moment, I'm totes fine if you don't want to pay me. Like I'm happy to do this one for free, considering I live in Freo, so it's not like putting me out too much.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know the DJ and producer Sable.
I've heard.
Perth guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So John is an absolute angel. I shot his wedding, and it was such an honor to be asked to shoot his wedding, and it was one of my favorite weddings I've ever shot. So when I broke my foot, obviously classic me, oversharing on social media, keeping people in the loop. His wife Courtney reached out to me and she was like, hey, I've got this device. And I was like, what do you mean device? And she was like, it's kind of like a pirate peg leg thing. And I was like,
so that's where that came from.
So that's where that came from. So they lent me that, and it honestly, it gave me all my freedom back. Like I went to Bali. It was great. Walking around. Excellent. Yeah. So basically it straps on and just works as like a peg leg.
Yeah.
And
it makes it look like you've lost your leg.
Yeah, it does from the front.
Yeah.
It was always funny putting those photos up. Love that.
People are like, what happened? I remember seeing, we tried to get this interview earlier.
Yeah, and I was like, Sobs can't drive.
But yeah, you were not in the, you weren't match fit.
Yeah, no, not yet. But yeah, I got my foot back a couple of weeks ago, and I have been dancing every weekend, and just so grateful to be able to
have
move.
2 feet. To
have 2 feet and be able to move and not have people staring at this peg leg thing. I mean, it was a great conversation starter, but also no one wanted to kiss me. So not great.
Your only thing was, all right, so yeah, I've broken my foot, but no one wanted to kiss me. So.
Everyone wanted to talk to me, just no one wanted to kiss me.
I mean, it's a great conversation starter. They're just like, hang on, what happened to your leg? Oh, wait, it's still here. Have a look.
Yeah.
That's... so you've brought us some presents. So anyone that doesn't have context, obviously you might be able to see, we do have a wall and a cabinet, kind of everyone brings in stuff and we leave it.
Yes.
So you've brought in some stuff for us.
Yes.
I'm even without looking, I'm not gonna. I haven't seen anything. There is something Taylor Swift there.
Good guess.
All right, what have you brought us?
So firstly, I brought you a CD, Reputation. Oh, sorry. There's the other stuff. Oh, I ruined that surprise, didn't I? God. Oh, fuck. Oh, I can't reach the other one. Okay, anyways, I brought you a CD. This was one of the ones that came in a magazine set that you could purchase.
Yeah.
So
of course you.
Obviously, yeah. You should know this by now.
So it's a gift.
Yeah. So there's a little Reputation CD in there for you to have a little listen to.
Yeah.
And I think this is a lyric. Yeah, it's a lyric book. So yeah, you can have a little look at that. So yeah, there's a CD.
Thank you. I will listen to.
Yeah. When I was looking for a photo of myself, I came across all these quotes that I have, and I love quotes and I love old dead artists, basically, like painters and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
They just have the most beautiful words, it's stunning. So this is one by Vincent van Gogh, and at one point I had them all stuck on the side of my bedside table thing, and I have a quote there at the moment. It always kind of changes, but this one is one of my favorites, and it was, whoever loves much performs much and can accomplish much, and what is done with love is done well. And I really like that, so that's one of my favorite quotes, so you can have that too.
Thank you. And there was another one that was down. Did it fall down?
Oh yeah, but I've got more here. came prepared. So yeah, these are my this is my old logo.
That's the one that.
Yeah. So this is really fun. So that's, I don't know if you know this, but on the top of the E, there's this girl.
Yes.
Which is ironic that she's wearing heels. Anyways, maybe I predicted my own future there. But yeah, so she's holding the key and she does sit on top of the E. So these were my old stickers and I still kind of use them.
That's what you used to, when you did your album, I did go back in your albums, you used to do that.
Yeah. So I still have a heap of these and I'm trying to just stick in places. But it was super fun when I was on tour with ʟɪsᴛᴇiln and with Alice in Wonderland because I was in different cities and just kind of sticking them everywhere. Plus I really don't like business cards. I don't like getting them. I don't like giving them out. So if you're in a club and someone's drunk and they're like, oh, get the photos from, you're like, here you go, honey, yeah, there, stick that on you. Yeah. And it doesn't fall off. So that's all due. So I brought some stickers.
Thank you. We can definitely stick them around.
Excellent. Do what you wish with those. And I also, I should have just brought a photo I took. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I actually do have prints, but this is a poster from Taylor Swift. It's just really nice. I love paint and I love floral things.
Yeah.
So I thought that'd be nice. It's a lyric from one of her songs, King of My Heart. How smooth is that? So that's a poster for you, and then just a cheeky little Polaroid of me with my baby.
Well, I definitely think we can. I was just thinking of an idea. We'll
just make a montage of it.
No, I was going to literally because we frame everything up.
Yeah.
So we'll get obviously the other one that's framed. I was like, hopefully this is a Polaroid of you. Yeah. Kind of do a little montage too.
I love Polaroids so much. If I had more money, I would work with them more.
But they're a little expensive.
They are a little bit. I mean, I buy these ones. The Fujifilm's a lot cheaper. I buy them on bulk off eBay, which works out so much cheaper.
Good old eBay.
Yeah. Oh my God. God bless eBay. Honestly,
the Polaroids, they're they end up being $8 per photo.
Yeah.
Could you imagine back in the day?
Yeah, but it probably was cheaper because everyone was using them. I feel
and Kodak with film back then they did if you bought this roll of film they'd develop it for free.
I remember Kodak.
That's smart. Yeah.
They're still okay. I could
leave that.
I could learn. Yeah. I could go on ages and ages about Kodak, but anyway.
But but I love the symbolism. Well, not symbolism, but the idea of being able to make a photo for someone, hold it in your hands and give it to them.
It's instant.
I love that because that's what I do. I take photos to give them to people so people have these memories to keep.
And the one thing I like about Polaroids is that's the only one there is.
Yeah.
So it's not like a digital where you could just print off another photo. That's the photo. And
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was taken. I think it was taken at Curtin. I think I was working for Astor at that time. Yeah, and
we'll definitely make a cute little montage, and we'll put you up on the wall as well.
A little bit of femme for the room, I think.
Yeah,
a little bit of floral,
and
it's nice.
Phil, if you do have a photo, you can drop past.
I have got a print of Dina Amy that I printed it, and Officeworks just never sent it to me. And then I went in the other day to pick up just personal photos and they're like, oh, are you this person? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, this is yours, but you don't need to pay for it because it was printed 5 months ago. And I was like, oh, okay. Thanks for letting me know. See, I can bring that in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really cool one actually. Do you know the Dina Amy? Awesome DJ. She's great. I did this really cool shot of her at Sets in the Beach a year or so ago. And I overlaid this pineapple decoration, a multiple exposure.
Yeah.
And the way, because she's a dancer originally and she's kind of posed in the same shape. It wasn't deliberate. It just fit over her so well and worked really nicely. So yeah, I got that if you want that.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Anything.
Yeah.
Give me.
Presents.
Yeah. No. We appreciate all of these, and it's kind of the reason why we do it is kind of everyone leaves a little bit of
themselves.
I'd said that while looking at Shan's condoms, and it was very weird.
I saw that too, and I was like, I should get some of those, and then I was like,
wait, no, that's a terrible idea.
It's not a terrible idea.
No,
it's just a bit useless, isn't it? There we are.
Yeah, and then we can.
Perfect.
I think we've got more stickers, so I think we might do a.
Yeah.
We'll work.
Do you know what would be really cool actually? In my I keep all my lanyards. It's the first thing I see when I wake up.
Yep.
I've seen your.
Yeah, they're my babies. It's my hard work basically. You guys should get a little lanyard thing and get the plain ones and get everyone to put their stickers on the lanyards.
Even better idea.
Yeah. Ideas woman, what can I say?
A Polaroid and put them in the little lanyard sleeve of everyone that comes in.
That's a good idea. And then you could kind of like hang them all up and...
We could, yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
That could work.
All right, well, let's fund a Polaroid.
Oh, they're cheap. The old ones are like $60 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did, we originally had the idea that we were going to do like Polaroids and then stick them on.
But I think because you've got this really cool, like the AAA name, which comes from the passes. So, I mean, that would just tie in beautifully.
That's how we do. Yeah.
Love a PR queen. I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, no, thank you for like coming on. Like we finally organised it and chatting Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
As we set off, we'll sort something out. You can talk Taylor Swift as much as you like.
Nah, it's fine. I get my bid on Tumblr, so it's all cheap.
Now this is a weird bit because I always ask Joel this, so it's weird to ask other people. But Darby, is there anything else you want to ask Chelsea at all?
We've pretty much been through a lot of things. I think. Okay, with sort of I know that this is like another thing as well, like with whole photographers and everything like that. Yeah. But equipment, right?
Yeah.
You've never really been someone who's let like you say crop sensor camera, like you've had the old camera and it's just like it's never held you back. Well then,
it's not that it's old. It's just obviously crop sensor is a different quality to full frame. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you've never really been one to sort of let anything sort of hold you back. So like, I guess sort of the question that I have is to people who are starting off without that sort of thing is like, what's the biggest part that they can do to help improve what their art is?
I think understanding your camera is the most important thing. It really bugs me when people say, it doesn't matter what you shoot with. It does. But it doesn't mean that you can't create beautiful images with what you're working with. So for me, I worked with a crop sensor until 2015.
Yeah.
So literally half of what I've done has been with a crop sensor lower quality. And then I finally just bit the bullet and got a 6D. I still shoot with the cheapest lens, which is a 50mm. It's like a $150 lens.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, literally, yeah. 6D, 50mm, perfect.
What you're seeing Chelsea on right now
is what I work on all the time. Yeah. So you definitely don't need the most expensive, but you need to be looking for quality. So for me, shooting live music, I needed a camera with high aperture, which is a low number, which... Who came up with that? It's so silly.
I know the reasoning behind
we don't need the technical.
Let's not go through that.
Yeah. So, understanding what you're working with and also understanding what you're going to need for what you're working in. But I would totally recommend do not waste – if you're going to invest in a camera, don't waste your money on a crop sensor. Get a 6D. Not sponsored. Canon, if you do want to sponsor me.
She's waiting.
Yeah, that would probably be my best advice. But you can create beautiful things with crop sensors. Yeah. A lot of my favorite photos are from my crop sensor. My cover photo on Facebook is a crop sense photo.
Is it?
Yeah. And I don't want to change it because it's an awesome photo.
It's a really good photo.
Yeah, it's the one of Alice in Wonderland at Villa and there's all like the confetti and I've like shot with flash and it's just like that. Colourful and she's like killing it. Oh, love that photo. Yeah.
Well, look, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you taking the time. And now you're better, you can drive.
Yeah, yay! And dance.
But yeah, thank you for coming on the show. Darby, thank you for managing the cameras and helping us out today. So we appreciate that as well. But thank you for watching the AAA podcast, the show that gives you access to all areas to everything music, nightlife, and everything in between. If you want to watch more videos, you can click up here. If you want to subscribe, click up here. Give us a like, comment. We appreciate it, and we will see you in the next video.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.